Hey guys! So today is Storytime Sunday. Well, not today, but you know, when you guys see this, it's Storytime Sunday. And I'm gonna tell you guys one of my anxiety stories, like a certain day that I got anxiety, like, I don't know. So, let's get started. So this was when I was in high school. I think a junior in high school. Was like the very beginning of when my anxiety started. So like I had just started having panic attacks and I didn't really know how to deal with it yet. You know, I knew it was anxiety, I just didn't know like what to do or like how to fix it, or like whenever I got anxiety during that time, I would have it for a long time, like it would last for hours, and then I just wouldn't know how to fix it until if I fell asleep or something, maybe woke up and felt better. But sometimes I would even fall asleep and then wake up and still have anxiety. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. It was terrible. Anyway, let's get into the story. And if I sound like really hyper right now, it's because I just had like coffee, and so I'm really hyper, and I'm actually having a little bit of anxiety right now too, because the caffeine gives me anxiety sometimes, and I had like way too much. Like usually I know when to stop. If I'm drinking like Starbucks or something, I'll be like, okay, this is like my limit, I can't have any more coffee because I know I'm gonna start getting anxiety. But today I didn't stop myself, so yeah. And I drank it like, I finished it like in one gulp. Like I usually drink it slowly and it's okay, but I drank it so quick, like it just a rush of caffeine into my bloodstream. And yeah, so this is why I'm really energetic right now. Okay, so story starts one day in my junior year. I think this might have been summer or like spring break or something like that, and I was hanging out with my friend, but Quincy was in college and I was in high school, so he just came down from college to like visit me or like to do something, and we weren't dating yet at this point, so just keep that in mind, we weren't dating yet. And Quincy doesn't have a car, he's never had a car. And if you don't know who Quincy is yet, then obviously you aren't an OG subscriber, so you should check out some of our videos. I will have maybe one of them up here, like a card or something. But anyway, so he came to visit me. He didn't have a car. I didn't have a car at this point yet. So he was with his friend, and I'm gonna say his real name because like no one's gonna know who that is. Like I don't even follow him on any social media. Okay, so his name is Sam.
It's a basic name.
Yeah, it's a basic name too. His name is Sam. And I had never met Sam before. Like I had seen him around our school because we went to the same school, because he dated some girl at our school. So I had seen him around and I knew who he was, but like I had never really met him, and like he was older than me, so I wasn't really friends with him, and he didn't know who I was, and like, you know, whatever. So what happened was he picked me up at my house with Quincy, and the plan was that we were gonna go to Sam's house, chill for a little bit, and then Sam had to do like some errands with his like motorcycle, so Quincy and I were gonna drive his car, and then Sam was gonna drive his bike, and we were just gonna follow him, and then he would get in his car and we would do something, and then drop us off at our place. So Sam lived really far away. He lived like from Quincy, and I both lived in the same like area, like within 5 minutes of each other back home, even in college, but like back home we lived like within 5 minutes of each other. But Sam lived like 40 minutes away. He lived far as hell. And like at this point, like I didn't even tell my mom I was going there. I just told my mom I was going to the mall, because like I was like in high school and I was just like, I was still scared of her. Like I didn't think she would approve of me going to some random guy's house. I mean, like, understandable, you know, but like I don't know, I just didn't tell her. I just told her I was hanging out with Quincy, and like whatever. So we're driving to Sam's house and we're chilling for a little bit. We are like in his car, kind of like I don't know why we didn't go inside. For some reason we didn't go inside. We went inside later, but like at first we weren't inside. We're just like in the car kind of, and then he went inside, and obviously him being a good host that he is, he's like, oh, you guys want something to drink? And I was like, oh, I'll just have some water. And then Quincy says he wants water too, so he goes inside and he brings the water, and the first thing I notice is that the water is in a water bottle. It's like an open container, and I'm just like, damn it. Like I'm waiting for Quincy to take his first sip, because I'm like, okay, if Quincy takes a sip, then I can take a sip, and like it will be good. Like I'm not gonna be poisoned or roofied or anything like that. But like I was already kind of like suspicious at this point. Like before the whole like water thing happened, I was already kind of like not at ease, because first of all, I was at a random guy's house that I had just met, kind of like I had never hung out with him, and it was just like one girl, me, and then two guys, and like I wasn't dating Quincy at this point. We were just kind of like friends. We had known each other, but like we hadn't really talked for a while, because I was dating some other guy. So like Quincy and I were like friends, but like we weren't really talking that much. So like I wasn't sure if I can trust Quincy. I definitely knew I couldn't trust this guy, not because he did anything wrong to me, but like I'm not the person that like trusts until like they give me a reason not to trust him. I'm like I don't trust you until you give me a reason to trust you, you know, like I'm like not as trusting because I value my life. So I didn't know if I can trust him, and like I wasn't sure if I could trust Quincy. So I was already like having a little bit of anxiety being at this guy's house. And like, to be honest, I didn't want to really go to this guy's house. I just wanted to like hang out, like do something else, but like it wasn't in my control, like I wasn't driving, so whatever. So he brings out the waters and I haven't taken a sip, and Quincy like takes a sip and he's like, oh, I don't want this water. And like, just keep in mind, you don't know this about Quincy, but Quincy is really a mysterious person. Like, he doesn't like people knowing too much about him. He doesn't want to have people like get into his brain kind of thing. He doesn't want people knowing like how he thinks, and like he's just very, very mysterious. Obviously through the years, like I've gotten to know Quincy much better, and like he's not like that with me anymore because it pisses me the fuck off. So it pisses me off so much. So he doesn't really do it around me anymore. But back then, since we were like just friends, and like we were friends, but we weren't like that close anymore. Like, I don't know, it was just like a weird relationship we had at that point in time. He was like mysterious. So when he said that he didn't want the water anymore, I was like, why not? And he's like, oh, just because. And I'm like, come on, tell me why not. Like, when he told me why, like when he wouldn't tell me why not, I started like full on panicking. Like, not like hyperventilating, because I'm not the type of person that hyperventilates when I panic, but like my heart just beating like I don't know how to explain it. In my mind, like my mind just works in crazy, like the way my mind works when I'm having anxiety, just thinks of the craziest shit ever. Like in my mind, I'm thinking that the water's roofied and that like they're gonna like gang rape me or something like that. I'm thinking that it's poisons, and like I'm just thinking crazy like things, because I don't know this guy first of all, and then like I wasn't sure if I can trust Quincy yet, so I was just thinking crazy shit. So I'm like, I'm not drinking this water. If Quincy's not drinking it, I'm not drinking it. Like, nope, not me. And especially since he wasn't like letting me know why he wouldn't drink the water. So eventually Sam goes inside the house, and we're still like outside in the front like lawn or whatever. So I just like toss the water in the bushes. I'm like, nope, I'm not drinking it. And then like the whole time after that, I'm just like having anxiety. Like obviously I don't tell Sam that I'm having anxiety because he doesn't need to know that. Like I think like now I'm more open about my anxiety, but back then I felt like I was a crazy person with anxiety. Like it wasn't as like well known as it is now. So like people didn't really come up and be like, oh, I have anxiety. Like people that had anxiety was just kind of like a weird thing to have, in my opinion. Like I wasn't really like open to people. Like no one really knew I had anxiety unless they were like close friends of mine. Obviously not everyone knows I have anxiety. So I didn't tell Sam I had anxiety, and I also didn't want to like ruin the plans. I didn't want like him to like take me home or like whatever, like I don't know. So I just kind of like, I told Quincy, I was like, oh, I'm getting anxiety, like whatever. So Quincy starts saying like, oh, are you okay? And that is like one of my biggest triggers ever. Like, are you okay? Are you that triggers me so much, because it just makes me feel like I'm insane. It makes me feel like it makes me question my reality. It makes me think like, is something wrong with me? Like there's something happened to me and I'm not conscious of it. Like is this really happening, kind of thing. Like it makes me think that like maybe I got in an accident, or like I'm hurt or something like that, and like my mind is making up like a circumstance that's not really happening. Like it makes me feel like maybe I'm at a hospital, but I'm not thinking I'm at a hospital. Like I don't know if I can explain it to you guys, and I don't know if you guys can understand it, because like I haven't really told you like my full anxiety story yet. I haven't really told you like my first panic attack, which is the reason, like I don't know, after this first panic attack a lot of things happened, and that's like kind of the reason why I have anxiety, and like the people that were involved is like why I have anxiety too. So I think maybe once you guys hear that story, which is a separate story, and I don't really know how to like tell it, and I don't know like if I'm ready to tell that story, so yeah, don't worry about that yet. But basically the phrase "are you okay" triggers me so bad. It makes me think that I'm just like I'm sick, or like I'm in a hospital. It makes me think like crazy shit. It makes me question my reality. It makes me feel insane. So he asked me that, and I was like, oh shit, why are you asking me that? Like I always question people, like, why are you asking that? Why are you asking that? Like, am I okay? Like why do you ask if I'm okay? So like I kind of like forbid Quincy from ever asking me, are you okay? Like if you want to ask me like if I'm alright, like you have to ask like in a different way that doesn't sound like I don't know why I feel that way. It's just weird. So eventually we threw out the water. I had anxiety for like the rest of the day, and I just kind of like, I tried to get over it, but it was like I was uncomfortable. First of all, because Quincy was driving, and like Quincy doesn't have a car, so I wasn't sure like if he knew how to drive well, and I was just like scared that we would crash. So that scared me, and I just was with like a random person that I didn't really know, so I just wanted to go home, and I was just like, I don't know, I just had anxiety and it was like a bad day for the rest of the day. And yeah, that is one of my anxiety stories. It's not, I don't even know how to like describe this or how to title this. Like, it's like one of the occasions that I had anxiety that's sticks with me, I guess, the most, because it's like at the beginning and it was like scary for me. Like now I have anxiety not on an everyday basis, but like maybe on a monthly or weekly basis, and it like I forget about those events because I'm just so used to it by now that like it's not like memorable to me. But that at the beginning was very memorable, especially since I was around people that I didn't really trust at that point in time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below, and also let me know if you have anxiety, and I don't know, just let me know like if you have an anxiety or like you have anxiety stories, or just talk to me in the comments below. Also, we reached 100 subscribers this week. I don't remember exactly what day it was, so I will be doing a giveaway soon. I will be announcing it in the next video. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you want to be part of that giveaway. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!